Yes.
Do you split your time between Kenosha and Chicago, or?
Yeah, we have events every month at Manja in Kenosha. So I'm here every month. I try to get here every week, but we always have a cooking class or some sort of an event, a wine dinner, anything like that. But every single month we have something like that in Kenosha. We also opened a new restaurant in Chicago about a year ago called Terzo Piano, and that is on the 3rd floor of the new modern wing of the Art Institute in Chicago. And Terzo Piano in Italian means 3rd floor. So we are on the 3rd floor of the modern wing of the Art Institute, and that opened about a year ago. And then we also just opened a little wine bar about 6 months ago called the Purple Pig at 500 North Michigan. So splitting time has become quite a challenge these days. Any other questions? Yes?
What's a ramp?
A ramp is a wild leek, and it's one of the first things that comes out of the earth in the springtime. And it's actually this stinking onion that the Native American nation that was in Chicago in that area, that's what they named Chicago for. So the stinking onion, which is what Chicago means in that language, is, did you know that? It doesn't smell that bad today. That's what a ramp is, spring onion. And they're really delicious, and I hear they grow in abundance in northern Wisconsin, too. Any other questions? Yes?
I just want to thank you for speaking so well of Kenosha. This is a wonderful town.
Here, here.
And it's very nice that you remember us so fondly and speak so well of us.
Thank you. Did you have a question?
I was just going to ask you if you'd rethink grilled pizza.
So the question here was, have I rethought grilled pizza? And he's referring to the last episode of Top Chef Masters where I was eliminated. And it's, you know, the group started out as 22 chefs from around the country. And then I made it to the championship round, which was 8. And then I was eliminated in the second show, the championship round, so I made it to the final 6. But I chose to, the theme was tailgating, which, by the way, I think I get growing up in this part of the world. And, you know, there were people from New York and California who had not a clue. I mean, some guy made some sort of a shrimp stew. It's like, who eats that at a tailgate party? So I think I got it, but I made grilled pizza, which isn't typical tailgating food either, but and it was delicious, and I got eliminated on it because, so to answer your question, no, I think it was great. It was delicious, so I don't know what their problem was, other than two of the judges were from New York, and they fold their pizza in half, so I don't know. Yes?
I never watched the show before, and I'll probably never watch it after, but, and you know, my husband was very, very angry because there weren't chefs judging the show, there were people who really didn't cook for a living. And so, I mean, is that what they always do, or and how did you feel about that?
So the question was that Debbie's husband was, first of all, a statement that her husband was very angry about the judging. And so on that show, they have judges that are not really professionals. I mean, they're food writers, mostly food writers, I guess. And the difference, if you've seen the regular Top Chef, which is more for younger people entering the industry that have a lot of tattoos and faux hawks, and so you tend not to believe those guys, and you tend to believe the judges. But on Top Chef Masters, I think more viewers, if a chef would argue a point with the judges, the viewers would side with the chefs. I've been doing it for 30 years. A lot of the other chefs on the show were doing it that long as well. So you tend to believe the chefs rather than the judges. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but do I think the judges did a good job? I think that's a great suggestion. If there were chefs judging other chefs, it would probably been a lot more fair, exactly. But, you know, it's a reality TV show on Bravo, so it has about 50% to do with cooking and about 50% to do with a lot of other things. And so some of those judges had really strong personalities and over-exaggerated things, as did some of the chefs. So I am who I am. I didn't really fall into that whole drama reality. I didn't become a train wreck, which makes for good reality show, reality TV material. I understand that, but it was a great experience. It was really one of those things that you want to do and accomplish, and the fact that we raised the money that we did for the Chicago Food Depository was the most rewarding part. So,
One more way up here.
yes, sir.
What would be your favorite dish if we're to go to Manja's or Scout's? What would you recommend for us here to sample?
So with your $10 gift certificate, we do have the wood roasted scallops, if you're a Democrat, that President Obama loves. We also have a ravioletto, a pasta dish that we made on the show on Top Chef Masters. And I would recommend at either restaurant that you can get both of those dishes, and you'll be thrilled. You'll be happy. So, well, yes, one more question.
What motivated you to open Manja? What was the driving force for you on this?
Well, the driving force for opening Manja was having grown up in an Italian family with all of that hospitality and working with my grandparents or seeing how they worked and tasting their food. We wanted to carry that on. And we thought there was a void in the market, and we thought that we could come up with something unique, and it's worked. For 22 years, it's worked fine. So that's why we did what we did. And I'm really glad we opened it on Sheridan Road, because it's easy to find for a lot of people outside of Kenosha too.
All right. Well, why don't
Thank
we-
you.